Great Pharaoh, the gift of Troy is a fabulous fabric from the land of the 5 rivers.
Beatsmith music. Welcome to the Fair NFL channel.
Hey man, like I said before, this is gonna be every show thing, man. Every time we start the show, you're gonna hear this crazy voice. But what's going on, Raider Nation, man? Salute to everybody that pulled up in the chat. I apologize, I am running late today. Man, I had a lot of things going on, but I appreciate everybody being patient with me today. But we're gonna have a fun show today. Man, the Raiders coming off a dramatic win against the Patriots, bro. Like, hey, it's always good to get a win, but especially the Patriots, man. We all hate the Patriots. If you're a Raider fan, it's almost it's an automatic. You're gonna hate the Patriots just based off history. That being said, we got the Steelers coming up on Saturday. We're gonna talk about that. We got a lot of things to talk about today, but let me get into the chat because I see y'all in the chat right now. Let me see who's pulled up. What's going on? So Sean Johnson in the building. He says, salute Pharaoh and Raider Ray. Let's get it. What a win. Wow. Just believe. Facts, man. We're going to talk about it, man. But that was a crazy just game in general. The way it ended was just, it ended in spectacular fashion. If you're a Raider fan, you had to be happy about that. Van City in the building. He says, Ray, Pharaoh, was good, gentlemen. Wishing you both a very Merry Christmas and even better New Year's, Raider Nation for life, man. I appreciate that, man. Likewise, same to you, man. Hopefully you enjoy the holidays as well. And we got Victor Bowker. He says, playoffs? Maybe we did it last year. It could happen again. Hey, I'm just saying. Why not? Why just say the Raiders are not going to go to the playoffs? Why don't we just everybody's going to watch what happens on Sunday anyway, so we might as well like see the possibilities, and we'll talk about that today too. But we got Bass Kickers. Let's go Raiders. We can do it. Facts. Pablo in the building. Pablo Vista, I appreciate you coming through, man. Thomas from Brazil, man. I appreciate you coming through all the way from Brazil, man. Oh my God, I appreciate you watching the show today. But let me not have my co-host waiting because he's an impatient man. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm just gonna bring him in. Hold on 1 second. I gotta be a little bit dramatic, you know. I gotta be a little dramatic. What's up, Raider Ray?
It's about time. What's going on, guys?
What's going on, man? But what's up, man? I haven't talked to you since, man, Saturday, so we haven't really talked about the game, but which makes it even better because now we'll have a fresh conversation because I haven't really talked to anybody about the game. It was a crazy win, unbelievable way for the Raiders to win. It was almost kind of like there was moments where I was like, oh my God, the Raiders are going to lose this game. Are you serious? Another loss where they lost a double-digit lead at halftime. And then, you know, the rest is history. The Raiders were able to put a drive together, tie the game up, tie up at 24-24. Even though some of y'all might be like, oh, well, you know, we got over on the Patriots. At the end of the day, hey, we need to get calls too. You know what I mean? We're a team. We
What was it, a catch, Pharaoh?
I seen a catch. The ruling on the field was a catch, and there wasn't indisputable evidence to overturn. I like that.
I like legal terms that you're using here.
Hey, man, all I'm saying is at least they're consistent. That's all I want. I want refs to be consistent. Right. I get it. That makes sense. If they call it on the field, in order for them to overturn it, you got to have indisputable evidence to overturn it, and they didn't. You know what I mean? It was pretty close. There were a lot of different angles, a lot of pictures. Some of you might say it's not a catch, but at the end of the day, it mattered on how they called it on the field. I think if they called it a different way on the field, meaning if it wasn't a touchdown, then maybe we probably wouldn't have gotten that call. But what do you think of the game, man? How it ended, and what are your thoughts, man?
You know, overall, obviously it's another win, and you got to be excited about a win. There were some things that I wasn't too happy about. You know, you're never satisfied giving up 200 yards on the ground. I know the Patriots were scheming that up against the Raiders defense. However, you got to find ways to kind of clean that up a little bit. They did a good job in the passing game, I thought, defensively. And then obviously Chandler Jones. I don't think anybody's deserved it more than Chandler Jones. You know, he's got a lot of criticism from the fan base. And look, we're hard on players when they don't produce to expectations based off of a contract given. Due to the history with the Raiders organization, with a lot of players coming over here, really cashing in on a check, that kind of play leaves a bad taste in Raider fans' mouth, and I kind of get it. But at the same time, I'm really happy for Chandler Jones. Nobody deserves it more than for him to have a moment like that, and honestly, a moment that's probably going to live in Raiders history for quite some time.
Yeah, man. I didn't even, what's crazy when the play was actually happening, and it's funny. Chandler Jones actually missed that tackle to begin with the play, and when he missed that tackle, you see a guy like Stevenson. He was showing throughout the game that he can make guys miss. He's shifty, and once he got in the open field, I'm like, oh my god, please.
I was holding my breath.
Being a Raider fan, we've seen every type of loss, every type of dramatic, traumatic experience we've been through with this team. I was thinking the worst. I was like, oh my god, don't tell me this guy's gonna take it all the way to the house and just win the game like that. And then, the rest is history. Myers throws it back. Chandler Jones takes it all the way to the house. It's funny when it happened. I was like, I couldn't believe it. It was kind of like
I was waiting for like a flag or something weird to come in. It just didn't feel like it was the game ender.
Yeah, because I remember when watching the Seattle game, I remember I was going crazy.
Yeah.
Jacobs, because you kind of were like, come on. Like you're kind of like getting ready for a big play to happen, and you're hoping for a big play to happen. But this was kind of different because it's like, what just happened? Like,
yeah, it happened in such an unorthodox way, and it kind of happened so quickly. Like you just see Chandler catch this ball, and you're like, whoa, what's happening? And then he stiffs arm Mac Jones into the dirt. And before you know it, he was off to the races. But man, it was cool to see this team celebrating into the end zone. And overall, hey, kudos to Darren Waller for coming back and having a game. I love that he was waving, to everybody that was criticizing him he came out in the post game and said he was waving at everybody who's criticizing him for dropping music videos. And
yeah,
you got to kind of love that. You could tell the guy was excited to be back.
Go ahead.
And you could just tell leading up to that game, he said something interesting in his first media presser since he's been back. And he was like, I have to earn the opportunity to go out there and play. And I thought that was significant based off of the star player, the contract he signed, all the controversy with him being away. And then he comes out and says, hey, I have to earn my right to go out there and play on Sunday. And he took the best of his opportunities. So
hey, and you love when players, especially your best players, have attitudes like that. You know what I mean? That's character. You know what I mean? And I think, and I'm you know what? I'm glad that I want Darren Waller to succeed. I want everybody on the Raiders to succeed. And a lot of fans, they get frustrated sometimes when the players can't get on the field, when they drop a pass and they're hurt and they can't get on the field. And that was the case for Darren Waller for the majority of the season, the last couple seasons. And you could tell, like, it's not something that he can control at the end of the day. Like, and he couldn't wait to get back on the field. He wants to help the team. I think at this point, the Raiders offense is already established. It's going to be Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, and then everybody else. Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller, they just got to be role players. It sounds crazy because they've been big parts of our offense in the past, but in this version of the Raiders offense, Devontae Adams changes everything. Josh Jacobs having the year that he's had has changed everything. And I think it just makes sense for Darren Waller and Renfrow just to find a role within the team, find a way to contribute to the team. And guess what? We seen a small glimpse of third and Renfrow. He had a big third down. Hey, keep building off that. And then we seen a little bit of Darren Waller. A few. Hey, he had a few passes.
He did, and he was attacking the seams, which he's elite at. So
exactly.
So they showed glimpses.
And if they can slowly but surely incorporate that and build off that, hey, the rest is history. Especially be a big factor in the red zone, because we all know the Raiders' red zone offense is terrible. It's been terrible for a while, and you could point to a lot of different reasons. But we'll get into that in a little bit. But any last thoughts of the game, man? Like, what did you? Because I did bring up the fact that, like, for a minute there, I thought this was going to be another loss, double-digit lead loss, where the Raiders are up big at halftime and then they end up losing the game. But guess what? For me, the way I look at it, because for some people are like, hey, the Raiders could have lost, but I looked at it as an improvement. They found a way to win. They found a way to win it. Sometimes you got to start somewhere. And that was kind of my attitude. Hey, when Mark Davis came out and said what he said about McDaniels, he's here to stay. My attitude was like, hey, look, especially with everybody talking about tanking this, tanking that. My attitude was like, hey, as a fan and me watching the game, watching the Raiders play, I want to see some type of improvement. In order for me to see some type of improvement, I want to see them improve from the types of losses they had. You know what I mean? Like the fact that they were able to win a close game, starting with against Denver, and then obviously with against Seattle, and then obviously now, like, this is an improvement. However way you want to look at it, it is improvement. Like in other previous games, when they lose a double-digit lead, usually it's done for. They're done for.
What's your biggest win so far this season? Was that Patriot game the biggest win of the year, or is there one that stands out?
The biggest win of the year.
That Seattle one was kind of special.
Seattle was just special, like the way it happened. I mean, but it was just fun for us to watch that game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Man, the biggest win is when we get to play.
Exactly.
Ain't no big win.
I don't know if we've had a 6-8 win yet.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think we've had a biggest win yet. If I'm going to be honest.
You said you don't think we've had a big win?
I don't think we've had it yet. I don't think we've had that game yet where we're like, oh, okay, like this is that moment, you know, maybe, hey, if the Raiders win these next two and they go into that Kansas City game with everything on the line, maybe we hold off that biggest statement game until the last one of the year. But for me personally, we just haven't been consistent enough to have that big time, like we've arrived moment.
No, we haven't. But I'm taking it 1 week at a time. And this week it's gonna be a tough game. I don't care what anybody says. I know the Steelers are 6-8, but they're 6-8, just like the Raiders are 6-8, and they're coached by Mike Tomlin. It's gonna be a tough game, man. It's gonna be a tough game. You want to just get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right, man. Raiders versus Steelers, man. Hey, man, this is a classic. If you think about it, the next 3 games, Steelers, 49ers, and Chiefs, all 3 classic rivalries. One is a classic, heyday, like all-time rivalry.
Yep.
The Raiders and Steelers. Then you got a fan rivalry, Raiders and 49ers, obviously rivalry of the Bay Area, whatever you want to call it. And then you got division foe, Kansas City Chiefs, the team that I hate the most.
Me too.
I hate the Chiefs.
We're right there together.
I hate the Chiefs, man. And so these are 3 big all-time games, man. If the Raiders can win all 3, I'm going into offseason. First of all, I'm going into offseason just excited no matter what. Like, hey, like, boom. Like, now we can build off something. Now we could, all right, McDaniels, let's see if we can get your guys in, because that's what you've been kind of alluding to with all these reports. Because, the beat writers, they talk to people in the organization, and the people in the organization are close to the coaching staff. Things come out. That being said, the Steelers are up next. They're on Saturday, and it's going to be a tough game, bro. I think, from what I read, I know you said something different. I think before kickoff, it's going to be 8 degrees.
Yep.
8 degrees.
25-mile-an-hour winds. So it's like in the negatives, -4 to -8 when it has wind chill. So you have high winds. So the kicking game is going to be an issue somewhere where I think the Raiders actually have a weapon in Daniel Carlson. So that'll be intriguing to see how that kind of plays out and the game plan they have for special teams, because the Raiders do a really good job at time of possession and field management, especially with AJ Cole, ball placement, getting the special teams down there with guys like Mac Hollins with the coverage unit. So I'm going to be really intrigued of how they decide to approach the weather this game. And
Right.
Can DC play in cold weather? There's that criticism of late in the year. How does he do in cold weather? Let's see.
Run that ball. I got to pull some stuff out, but run that ball. That's going to be the key. This is going to be the key down the stretch. Every game, the Steelers, the 49ers, and the Chiefs, we have to continue to play our best ball on offense and obviously play the best we can on defense. They've been playing well lately, even though I don't think the Patriots offense is really something to celebrate over. I don't think the Rams offense is something to celebrate over, but they've, it's not like they've been playing spectacular ball. But what I'm saying is that the Raiders offense, it's going to be consistent every week. We got to get Josh Jacobs to 100 yards.
Mm-hmm.
We have to dominate the run game. This game is going to be won from the trenches. And I think against this defense, it's going to be tough.
It is going to be tough. I mean, they've got TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, Alex Highsmith is playing extremely well. He was the second highest graded edge defender in the NFL last week with a 90.8 grade, just finding ways to get after the quarterback. And those three, just like we came off this week, so it was kind of good practice for this Raiders offensive line that, let's be honest, kind of came together pretty quickly with Jordan Meredith. And Grasu, I forget how to say his name. Essentially, a no-namer signed off the practice squad to get into the active roster
from Denver.
Yeah,
But they were solid coming in. You know what I mean? Short notice, like literally, the guy was signed to the practice squad last week, and he was starting for the Raiders on Sunday, which is crazy to say. Meredith was a guy that was down in the depth chart, came up short notice. I think you heard Mick Lombardi talking about how like they're giving him praise. You could tell the guy was in the watching tape. He was preparing to start, and this was him saying this about Jordan Meredith. So he played well. He played well enough on short notice. That being said, we need to get Dylan Parham, because I did notice a difference when he did go down. The Raiders' offense kind of changed a little bit. The run games kind of stalled a little bit.
Yeah.
And it just was a different energy on offense when he went down.
Yeah, I think Jordan Meredith has a lot of upside when it comes to pass protection. Now, he didn't play a perfect game, so hear me out, Raider Nation. He didn't play a perfect game, but you can't expect that from a guy who hasn't played football since August. So for not playing any football since August, to come into this lineup, and you got to think he wasn't on a roster. As a matter of fact, he was released from a practice squad. So this guy wasn't playing football, but you could tell he stayed in the playbook. He stayed in the film room. And I think Jordan Meredith is a guy that I want to see the Raiders hold on to long term. I think he has a lot of upside. I think he has a lot of potential. You give him another offseason, another training camp, and you give a guy an opportunity. Not saying he's going to be a starter along the 53, but he gives you a sense of depth for the Raiders' offensive line. And look, Coach Priscillo has done a remarkable job at finding depth this offseason, doing a lot of plug-and-play situations, starting a rookie, having Thayer Mumford, 7th-round draft pick out of Ohio State, getting significant playing time this season. I mean, what he's done up front, and you alluded to a stat earlier before we went live, and you were talking about how the Raiders, I believe, are number 7 or 6th in sacks given up.
Yeah, they gave up 26 this season, which is good for 7th in the league. The Steelers are 14th and 35 sacks, so there's an opportunity there for Max Crosby and company, and that's the Steelers offensively they're not going to be too scary, but in a game like this, on the road in the cold, with our run defense lately kind of been a little bit shaky with Billings being out. Hopefully he can come back this week, but he has 1 day less. A lot of the players that are going to be hurt this week, they're going to have 1 day less to recover because the game is played on Saturday, which is obviously a disadvantage for both teams, but especially for us if we're going to try to get some players back. I think Billings, if we can get him back, maybe to shore up that run defense, we can probably control their offense. Their offense is nothing to really be scared about, but I don't want to go into the game thinking like, oh, okay, that they don't have a scary offense, but it's not like we have lockdown corners. It's not like we have the greatest pass rush outside of Max Crosby. It's kind of like hit or miss.
Yeah, so, you don't necessarily know what you're going to get. And I was alluding to that up front, especially on our offensive line, like to be ranked 7th in the league with everything that this team has had to deal with up front is pretty impressive, especially with all the interchanging that we've had to do. It just goes to show you that the scheme is well designed. The coaches know what they're doing. They know the strengths of their offensive linemen. And to be honest, I think Coach Priscillo is far of an upgrade over Tom Cable last year. Mm-hmm. I think he knows how to find players, put them in position, regardless of name, talent, draft pick, whether they were sitting on a couch. Like he can get those guys up and ready to play football on Sunday. But yeah, going into this game, the trenches, it's going to be a circled point for me when it comes to matchups. Defensive line has to get after it. The Steelers' offensive line is starting to pick up. They're starting to find an identity. They had 156 rushing yards last week with 3 touchdowns. They were moving guys, mauling guys, simplifying things up front. Mm-hmm. And you could tell that it was really starting to shine for them. They were really starting to find some success on the ground. So that's going to be something to look forward to. Who's going to win this trench battle? Chandler Jones, Max Crosby, like you said, Andrew Billings. I think he's actually a key cog for the Raiders defense. We need to get him back, and we need to get disruptive when it comes to the run defense.
I think in games where the weather plays a big role on what happens on the field, you kind of have to throw stats out the window.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you look at the Steelers' offense. They're not like I said, they're nothing to be scared about. But a guy like Harris, a physical running back, you know what I mean, playing in the cold, you can see him playing well in this type of weather type game. Even Josh Jacobs, it's an opportunity for him to play well as well. But then you kind of have to look at like Pittsburgh. They're playing at home. This is their home crowd. They're used to playing in this type of condition. For a guy like Najee Harris, I think with how the Raiders are defending against the run lately, it kind of scares me a little bit. Like, if he's running the ball well, then it makes their offense that much better, and then that play action happens, and then the linebackers get exposed. You know, the rest is history. You see where I'm going with this. So
Yeah. I would say by now we see the formula how to beat the Raiders. You know, if you can start to create and generate a run game, start the play action and attack these linebackers, and then work your way outside of the defense, you generally can find ways to find success against the Raiders. On top of that, we're running a ton of man coverage, but offensively, you can say that we have a game plan as well. You know, it's running the football efficiently. First and second down, you've got to win first and second down and make third and manageable situations for Derek Carr. In second half, I want to see this offense. I finally want to see this offense, you know, play a consistent game. Kind of like Seattle game, we had some early issues, but we really rallied and started playing good football. I just want to see DC have that second half production. You know, I kind of want to still see him step in and take over in a game. Historically, he's done pretty well against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And now you have an opportunity to address these conspiracies about him not being able to play well in the cold. Run the football with Josh Jacobs, get the ball to Devontae Adams and Darren Waller, and just start running up the points.
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm not sure. I wonder if it's probably going to be hard for McDaniels to be aggressive in this type of weather type game, but this is a team that likes to run, single high safety.
Yep.
With Fitzpatrick, and they like to blitz a lot. They're like 5th in blitz percentage in the league. Historically, the Steelers like to blitz a lot. So I wonder if McDaniels gets a little bit of itch and maybe throws the Steelers off guard. You know what I mean? A couple of deep shots, but it's gonna be hard though.
These are pretty similar teams, if I'm being honest with you. These are honestly pretty similar teams. You've got a front attack with Cam Hayward, T.J. Watt. Same mold. The Raiders are trying to, Max Crosby, Chandler Jones. The secondary doesn't have a lot of superstar talent. Same with the Steelers outside of Mika Fitzpatrick. Their linebacker situation as well is a little bit spotty here and there. Offensively, they're really finding an identity running the football. We have obviously better receiving options on our offense, but a lot of the statistics would say that these teams are pretty similar. The blitz percentages, kind of the issues that they both have defensively. So, which offense is going to go into this game and execute at a higher level? I think that's the biggest question.
Facts, 100%. And did they release an injury report today?
Yes.
It's I know it's
Yep, it's an early week, so they issued an early one.
Okay, let me see who popped up on the injury report. Let me see injury report for the Raiders. Fastest way to do that is go to Twitter. If I don't know, y'all now know. All right, let's see. So Alex Bars he was on the injury report. Obviously, he's hurt. He did not participate. Jackson Barton, a tackle, he's not participating. I guess obviously they're gonna put him on that list, especially with injuries on the O-line. Andrew Billings, limited.
He's limited, so that's a good sign.
He's limited. Oh, you know what? Let me help y'all out, man. I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna share this. My bad, y'all. Let me share this real quick so y'all can see what I'm seeing. Share screen.
Sean Johnson. Devontae Adams needs 134 more receiving yards over the next 3 games to break Tim Brown's Raiders' all-time single-season record.
Woo!
Hey, it's possible.
Mm-hmm. Can you see it?
Yep, I see it.
All right. So we got Andrew Billings fibula. Damn, that's a weird injury. Fibula?
Yeah, it's especially with his size, that's tough.
Oh man, he's limited. And then you got Darian Butler, quadricep limited. We have Jermaine. Okay, Illuminor practicing full today.
Cool.
Great sign. That's a big sign. We got Harmon. He's limited. Dylan. This is tough right here.
I don't think he's up. This week. I'm gonna be honest.
Man, that's gonna be a tough injury, man.
Especially with this interior pressure that they're starting to generate in Pittsburgh. So
Zamir White ankle.
with his one carry,
one carry goes down. Come on, bro. No, I'm just clowning, man. I think, man, when did he get hurt? If y'all let me know, man. When did?
Yeah, are you guys ready for his workload? For that heavy workload?
Man, Rocky Sin. This is, definitely want you have your best players out there. Rocky Sin is. You definitely want him out there, but he also.
I think they're just trying to keep him off of IR. I think they're being optimistic that he can come back at some point, and hopefully the Raiders are on a win streak. That's my idea.
Well, we're not going to just focus on all Raiders as far as the injury report. We're going to look at the Steelers injury report as well. And one of the news that was announced was that Kenny Pickett was back from his concussion. He practiced in full. He's looking like he might be the starting quarterback, but you never know. Coaches like to play these type of games where they tell you, yeah, Kenny Pickett's going to be starter, and then Mitch Trubisky becomes a starter. And it's not like both QBs are not super spectacular, but they do have tendencies, and when you practice against one quarterback's tendencies, it might throw you off a little bit during game time. But I'm sure Patrick Graham, he's going to prepare for both.
Yeah, but I think they give the nod to Kenny Pickett. Trubisky's coming off 3 interceptions in a game where they had to go extremely run heavy. Mm-hmm. I just think Kenny Pickett offers you more with the creativity with his legs, and it seems like they're going to give him an opportunity to be the guy of the future. So I definitely see the Raiders preparing for Kenny Pickett this week.
Anybody on the injury report that catches your eye that, Cameron Hayward, he didn't participate for them. That's a big piece of their D-line.
Yeah, that's a veteran one.
Especially with injuries to our
Larry Ogunjobi, he's a good player.
Mm-hmm. So and especially when you look at the injuries in on the inside with Dylan Parham, maybe
Edmonds, he didn't practice,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Okay, that's a starting safety for them.
Yep.
So
Deontay Johnson, he's on there with a toe, so that's something to manage.
Right. So we'll definitely keep an eye on this as the week goes on. But this is something to, with one day less to recover, it's because the game's on Saturday. You gotta. Some of these guys, if it was on Sunday, they probably play on Sunday. But some of these guys might not play on Saturday just because they don't have that day to recover from their injuries. But yeah, man. Hey, so how do you feel about this game, though, overall?
To be honest with you, it's a really hard. It's a tough matchup. I think this is just going to be a gritty, dirty, tough. I think the tougher team wins. If I'm being honest, this is historically what it's come down to between these two teams is who has that dog in them more. And right now, I mean, hey, the Steelers are a tough team, and Mike Tomlin, he's finding an identity.
Reflection of the coach. They're a reflection of the coach.
Reflection of the coach. And you know what? The Raiders have rallied, recently behind Josh McDaniels, and they have shown toughness. They've shown more passion, more swagger, especially coming off of a big win with Chandler Jones scoring and ending the game like he did. The Raiders are going to be ready to go, especially this is a primetime game, so everybody's going to be watching this game. All eyes are going to be on the Raiders, so let's hope that they come out ready to play, not like the Rams game, and hopefully they come ready for a dogfight. And historically, this is a rivalry, so I expect the Raiders to show up and ready to play.
Yeah, facts, man. It's a tough game. Man. When you are playing a tough game, you definitely don't want to play against a Mike Tomlin coach team. You know what I mean?
Not at this time of year.
Not at this time of year. The Ravens, the Steelers, the Bengals, they're known for their toughness, and this is what their bread and butter is. You know what I mean? Playing these tough, ugly weather type games. Hopefully the Raiders could find a way. You know what I mean? That's all they can do right now at this point, and they got to win out. And we're gonna get into their playoff picture in just a second. Let me get into the chat real quick, man. We got LMN Pro. He says ref got that catch right. Hey, I agree 100%, man. I'm not gonna argue with you at all with that one. We got Thomas. He says Raiders are actually actually decent team. Imagine if they had 2 more top interior linemen and maybe some players on defense too. Some might argue a quarterback, but
at every level.
But I'm not taking no shot at DC. DC had a solid game last game, threw 3 touchdowns. He had some moments where he was kind of inaccurate. I think when the run game kind of went out and put him, and then the Raiders were getting penalties after penalties, put him in like really long and down and distance on some of their some of the plays down there, especially in the second half where like it was like 2nd and long, 3rd and long. Obviously, the Raiders shown this year that they're not really a good team when they're like down like that. They have weapons, but their O-line can't hold up, especially against a Patriots defense that that plays well against the pass, that can get after the quarterback. So I think that you're on to something. I think, but you know what? That being said, I don't want to get on the O-line a little bit. I don't want to get on them too tough because we talked about this. They've played well this year.
They have.
They
get a lot of criticism.
5 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They exceeded expectations if you think about it, because we thought O-line was going to be crazy this year. You know what I mean? It's going to be just like last year, how we were struggling out the gate, and it kind of looked shaky at first because they were switching O-linemen every week, starting tackle, doing that starting rotate, and then finally they kind of had that settle in.
They found their mix. Exactly.
So I think the O-line, they don't need to be criticized at this time. I feel like they've done a great job, and I think that's, you know what, we also talked about this, is coaching has been a huge difference. I think we can safely say that coaching this year overall is better than last year's, and you could tell by how the players are playing, even with the talent that they have.
Yeah, especially up front on the offensive line. To go to a Jordan Meredith and a Grasu at the right guard position on a week's notice. That's 2 starting guards that you're plugging in against a Christian Barmore, Matthew Judon, Josh Uche. Like, that's a significant front that the Patriots played, and they blitzed a lot because they knew the interior of this offensive line was weak. So, hey, shout out to Coach Priscillo.
Shout out to him. Shout out to all the position coaches, man. Like even the running back coach for last year, the Raiders didn't even have a running back coach.
Yep.
If you guys remember Kirby, I forgot his first name, but
Wilson. Was it?
No, it was something Kirby, I think. He was a running back coach for the Raiders. Right. He retired.
Yeah.
You know what's so weird? He retired from coaching from the NFL, and then he became a head coach in like not Arena Football League, but it was like the XFL.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, that
took
was
an opportunity. It was weird.
Yeah, that was kind of strange. But that being said, the Raiders didn't replace that position coach, and last year maybe you can contribute to maybe that's why Josh Jacobs out the gate wasn't playing well at times to begin the season last year, 2021. You guys remember Josh Jacobs didn't really play well that well in the beginning of the season, but this year it's a whole different story. But let me get to Sean real quick. He says, not gonna lie, I am worried about DC in this cold weather coming up. It's supposed to be like 8 degrees or something like that. Sean, man, I'm with you, bro. We were just talking about that. I'm concerned too. But that being said, McDaniels, hopefully, this is where coaching comes in. You got to protect your players. You got to come up with a great game plan. In this case, run that ball. I know the Steelers are 7th ranked against the run. Doesn't matter. They got to find a way. The O-line got to find a way to push these D linemen off the ball and find some holes. And hey, Josh Jacobs got to show. He got to show that he got to earn that contract today. I mean, not today, but on Saturday. If he could have a big game, I think, hey, at this point, are you giving Josh Jacobs a big contract?
You know how I feel about this.
I set you up there.
You set me up.
I set you up there. But look, if Josh Jacobs has a big game on the road against the Steelers.
He's had big games a lot this year.
I know, but I'm just saying.
No, he's gonna have to.
I've been vocal about it. I feel like the Raiders should find a way to bring him back.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
Yeah, no, he deserves a paycheck. It's just I don't like. Okay, just to kind of so Raider Nation knows what conversations me and Pharaoh have had off camera. It's just like is this new standard of Josh Jacobs going to be the standard that you get after you extend him? You know, we see the Ezekiel Elliott's of the world, all these running backs that sign these contract extensions, and historically their production has dipped. Before this season that Josh Jacobs is having, which isn't a contract year, don't forget that. You know, he's at 1,500 rushing yards essentially right now, having a phenomenal year. Shout out to Josh Jacobs. He deserves everything that's coming his way. But with that being stated, if I'm getting the production from Josh Jacobs, his rookie year, sophomore year, junior year in the NFL, am I comfortable paying that $12.5 million price tag if that goes back to being his consistent production? Me personally, I'm thinking about it. I'm not saying no. Now, if this was the new standard for Josh Jacobs and he goes out there for the next 3 to 4 seasons and continues to stack this kind of production, of course, like without a shadow of a doubt, it's just in this offensive scheme with the ability to move guys up front. Is there an opportunity to go cheaper at the running back position, throw money at the defense, and build a good, solid defensive staff, and maybe even go out there and draft another young guy or whatever the direction you want to go? And because we have the ability to run the football up front, can you see another running back coming into the system and having 1,000 yards? I would make the argument that you could.
It's a very shrewd move.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes I'm feeling shrewdy.
Kind of heartless a little bit. No, but in all seriousness, I get it makes a whole lot of sense. And that was my thought process before the season.
Yeah.
You know, every season that Josh Jacobs has, played, he's gotten hurt. Obviously with you got like McDaniels coming over, you look at his history with running backs, he's always had running back by committee. So he's had success playing in that style of play, style of offense. But how do you let a great player like Josh Jacobs go?
I know, and look,
you know what I mean. You can't. It's not a good look to like.
It's not. But you can't keep everybody. You can't.
Yeah. Okay. I understand letting your good players go, but your great players.
Okay. Is he great, or is he just having a great year?
That's a great argument.
You know.
That's a great argument for real. And then Johnny Storm Beat says it's Kirby Wilson. Wilson.
I was right.
Okay. All right. What's good, man? I appreciate you coming through. He said, "Run that ball." Yes.
Facts.
Yes, 100%. Sir. Facts. Daniel Kim in the building. He said, "Salute Farrell. Salute Ray. Appreciate you coming through." D Menace, my guy, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. Yeah, man. Like, I get it.
And I do got to put it out there too, because Raider Nation, don't come after Derek Carr when in the third quarter, fourth quarter, he has these consistency issues, because it's not going to be the cold weather issue. We've seen in the Rams game in the second half of the game, he went 2 for 11. He was struggling to find a rhythm. And in this last game, going into the third and into the fourth, he was 0 for 6 there for a stretch, missed the 2 to Mac Hollins. There were some drop passes there that wasn't DC's fault as well, but he's got to find a way in the second half to up the production, and I love how he had poise when the game was on the line. He went down there, scored, and I will say Derek Carr had a really good game. Obviously, he had a pick 6. You want to get that cleaned up a little bit, but that was just a really good heads up play by Kyle Duggar. That just really felt like a Bill Belichick scheme. I don't know if you got to see it, but on the play breakdown, there was some communication going on between the defensive backs and Kyle Duggar. When DC got up to the line of scrimmage, he made a check, looked at Devontae Adams. The corners and DBs were making alerts, and I think that's something, a tendency that they've seen on film of Derek Carr, and it was designed that Kyle was going to jump that route regardless. So I think it was just a good heads-up play by Kyle Duggar, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Like looking at it, like when you watch the replay,
right.
He read it like he knew exactly what the play was. There's like DC didn't have a chance. Like he like right as soon as it's almost like as soon as like he's seen a motion, as soon as they called hike, he knew exactly. He read it all the way, and that's just watching tape, game film, great coaching, well prepared, very good instinctual play by the cornerback there, man. That at first, it's frustrating because DC has thrown 6 interceptions in the last 4 games. His 4th straight game with an interception, but he threw 3 touchdowns. You know what I mean? And he made the plays when it counted, and that's what matters. And we got the W, so I'm not complaining at all.
Yeah.
But I still want to see more improvement. You know what I mean? I still want to see more improvement in the team. But hey, like I said, to start the show, I said the Raiders improved last Sunday, in my opinion. That was a game that they've lost all year long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For some reason this year, we lose games where we're up big, and then we find a way to lose a game. And we found a way to win the game this last Sunday. So, but Daniel Kim, he says, how many years would you give him? Running back shelf life is uber short. So he's talking about Josh Jacobs.
I mean, if we were to re-sign him, I mean, I'm going to probably give him a 3-year contract. That's my option.
Let me be honest here. What makes Josh Jacob great though? It's not like his it's
his vision.
He does have a burst though.
It's his vision. He's a patient runner behind the line. He lets the guys up front really
shifty.
Yeah, he's shifty.
Physical, can break tackles.
Yep, he can make you miss in the open field. Guys kind of are afraid to tackle him at times. He's got a nasty stiff arm. Look, he's a really good player. He's a really, really good football player, and whoever spends the money, they're getting a good running back. It's just I always have buyers beware at the running back position when they go into a contract year and explode onto the scene, and it's just and we know that Josh has struggled with injury history in recent times past. So it's like if he's going to have those nagging injuries moving forward into the contract, I can't expect him to have 1,500 rushing yards every year. So that's just my opinion. I know that I might get criticized for it, and that's okay. Yeah, but I just have to stick to my guns and what I feel in my gut. And I just think the Raiders need to think about it. They came out and made him the captain. We've seen Derek Carr rally for Hunter Renfrow, rally for Devontae, rally for Darren Waller to get paid, Max Crosby to get paid. So this is a team that they like the guys in-house to get paid. So seeing them promote him to being a captain doesn't surprise me. And Devontae Adams behind him in the camera, making the money sign. Like, they want to see Josh Jacobs stay a Raider. Josh wants to be a Raider. It's just the Raiders have a lot of hard decisions to make financially.
But isn't that how you build a good locker room? Is to have, and it's for them to be close.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? And stick up for each other. And then players are getting signed there. The guys that played well are getting signed, and you kind of build that good locker room culture. Isn't that how you do it?
100%.
It's not like a random mix of guys.
At this point, you're locked in. You're locked into Chandler's contract. Like, that's a guarantee. You can't get out of that without having a horrible dead cap space. You just extended Hunter and Darren at $15 million apiece. You just made Devontae Adams the highest paid wide receiver in football. You just extended Max Crosby. A lot of people don't talk about that one. You just extended Max Crosby to a big deal. So to me, like, there's only so much money that you could throw out there, and it's like we have a lot of issues on the defensive side of the football. So I don't know. Here's the thing. On the table, would you give up a Josh Jacobs for, say, like a Quinnen Williams at the defensive tackle position? You know what I mean? If it was on the table and you had the opportunity to get a premier pass rusher on the inside, right? Say the Raiders go out there and make a trade or whatever the case may be in the offseason. If you put it on the table and you say, hey, go get a premier interior pass rusher or keep Josh Jacobs, what would be your choice?
You said either Josh Jacobs or a premier
interior pass rusher. We're talking like not just a good one. I'm talking like great.
Top 10?
Yeah. Well, I'm talking like the Quinnen Williams of the world, guys like that. The Christian Barmores, guys like that. Or maybe possibly even, well, I'm not going to get into a rookie situation, whatever, but yeah, if you had the opportunity to go out there and make a trade and financially.
Like top 5 at their position or top 10
yeah,
at that position?
Yeah, you have to.
Top
or
5?
Maybe even, a tag and trade. I don't know. We've seen it all happen before, but.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, like, I would do it.
You would do what?
Get a top 5 D tackle?
Yeah.
It would be a huge impact on that.
You just have to, with the running back position, you can go out there and get 1,000-yard running back in the system. Josh McDaniels has shown in the past, like, because we have Josh Jacobs, he's going to get the 28 to 30 carries a game, right? Say he's not in this offense and you have to go the committee route, there's no better offensive play caller to have than Josh McDaniels. So if you do move on from Josh Jacobs, I still think the offense is in good hands. I think he finds a way to get it done.
Someone says Matt Collins needs some duct tape. He needs some duct tape. Oh, what am I doing? He needs some duct tape on his hands. He can go after this year. Yeah, his hands are, kind of questionable at times, but he did make the plays when they were, when he had to.
Good red zone touchdown, good
zone.
special team.
It was a great throw by Derek Carr in the red zone, but it was also even a great catch by
it's hard. Catching it by your shoelaces is tough.
Yeah, he's 6'4", even though it was nowhere to go with the ball. Like he was able to pull it in and make that catch. And
I think he's got something like 700 yards this year, which is crazy.
Yeah, damn near like at least 600.
But
something.
hey, historically, Derek Carr has kind of done this, right? He's got that guy in the offseason that just looks like a depth piece and turns around and makes some money. Zay Jones, Seth Roberts. At the time, Michael Crabtree was regarded as past his prime. He turned into a 1,000-yard receiver with DC. So it's
his best years. His
best years
were with the Raiders.
Hey, I was a big Michael Crabtree guy. I'm not.
I know. I wanted the Raiders.
I liked Michael Crabtree.
So out of Texas Tech, I wanted the Raiders to draft him. And then when the Raiders drafted Hayward Bay, I don't know, man. I went crazy. I was like, what is going on here? You know what I mean? Hayward Bay. But we all know what happened at the end of the day. I think, didn't Michael Crabtree expect to go to the Raiders, or he didn't want to go to the Raiders? Remember, it was something.
Yeah, I think he expected to go to the Raiders, and then they took Hayward Bay.
Okay. Yeah, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. But we got Luis Lopez in the building. He says, "I say you keep Hollins next year. He's a specialist, and that chemistry with DC. Yeah, and the fact is, he also offers some." Like you just mentioned right now, very good point. He does offer some,
he's
a
value
to special teams.
Player. That's why I think he's going to be too expensive for the Raiders to keep, if I'm being honest. Like if Zay Jones went out there and got $10 million a year, it would not surprise me given his special teams ability. And obviously if he finishes this year, 750, 800 receiving yards, really being like the third or fourth option when everybody's healthy. I mean, is it too far-fetched to say that he would get $8 million a year, $7 million a year, especially with the cap space going up? So I don't know. I think that's too rich for the Raiders' pockets right now, but we'll see. I could be wrong.
Okay, let's actually get into what we wanted to talk about too as well today was the Raiders' playoff picture. You know what I mean? They're at 6-8. They're playing another 6-8 team this week, so obviously they're in the picture as well. So it's a big game for both teams this week. It's going to be a big game here on out. You know what I mean? They got to win out, obviously, to even have a chance. And a lot of things got to go their way. But let's take a look. I'm going to have it pulled up in just a second.
And what's crazy is the reality that Raider Nation needs to prepare themselves for is there is a possibility that the Raiders win out and we still don't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like you have to be ready for that as well.
Yep. Let me pull this.
Thomas says, what about Foster? To be honest with you, Foster's not that guy. He's not. He's improved when it's come to blocking, But as far as if you're telling me, it depends on what you're meaning by what about Foster. Are you talking about re-signing him? Are you talking about him being a replacement for Darren Waller? It depends on what situation you're talking or what context you're talking about Foster. But I don't think Foster's done enough to go out there and break the bank in free agency by any means. So, yeah, I guess if he takes a team-friendly deal, which early in the offseason he said he would, if that means him winning games. So, I mean, we'll see. I don't think Foster's that special, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. So this is the playoff picture right now. Buffalo is the number 1 seed in the AFC. Kansas City just clinched the playoff spot as well. Just last weekend, beating the Texans. Easy win for them. But, I think Cincinnati's probably going to go ahead and win their division, especially with injuries to quarterback for Baltimore. They have
right there is the team you need to watch.
I know, but I'm not gonna really. It's the reason why I say the Raiders have a chance is because I looked at everybody's schedule to see, like, all right, I know the Raiders got to win out, but how about these other teams? The Jets are faltering, and guess who the Jets play this week? They play Jacksonville, they're red hot right now.
Right.
And whoever, the winner of this game, the Raiders would go up if they win against the Steelers.
And they play the Jets.
They play the Jets.
So that's just going to be a flip-flop between 9 and 10 right there.
Exactly. And, and this is why the Jacksonville game hurts a lot because, look, they have the tiebreaker over us. But Jacksonville's schedule is not really they could, if they went out, hey, they went out at the end of the day. But like they also they got some tough games ahead of them. Cincinnati plays New England next game. So if you can see, look at New England plays Cincinnati.
Okay.
So you could see New England losing that game right there.
Yep. You want Cincinnati to win that one.
In Miami, they're looking like they're messing. I don't know. And they have some low key tough games too. Some divisional games.
The Chargers, I think the Chargers are going to make the playoffs. As much as I hate to say it, because they don't have a difficult schedule remaining at all.
Yeah.
Like of the teams that could have beat them, I think it was the Titans.
Yeah. So look, so Miami, they play Green Bay. I don't know. Miami's looking kind of shaky right now.
Honestly, I think seed 4, Tennessee Titans, seed 5, and seed 7. Those are the 3 teams we need to keep an eye on.
Oh, and that's another thing. Tennessee is faltering. And I think is Tannehill out for an extended period of time?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a real good.
You know
question.
what I mean? Because he got hurt last game.
They're probably a division winner, aren't they?
Tennessee. Yeah, they're leading the division, but they're 7-7.
Yeah.
And guess who's right behind them? Jacksonville. So think about it. If Tennessee keeps losing, Jacksonville keeps winning, it still kind of like helps us out a little bit. You get where I'm going?
No, yeah, but hear me out on this. Of all these teams, who do you think has the toughest schedule of all of them? Because I'm going to tell you who it is.
Oh, the Raiders.
The Raiders, 100%.
Raiders.
We have the hardest
on the road against a classic, all-time division, or not division, but all-time rival in the Steelers. Classic rival back in the day. I don't know about recently, but I think someone in the chat, I think it was Sean, he said the Raiders last 10 meetings, the Raiders are 8-2.
Yep.
So that looks good on paper, but I don't like to go on paper in this type of game, especially a weather game on the road. Mike Tomlin, a guy that's never coached.
So many games that shot the Raiders in the foot this year.
I know, man.
The Rams, the Jags, the Colts, the Titans, the Chiefs game.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders, it's just crazy that how the Raiders have been playing. It's crazy to think that this team could have honestly been a double-digit win team and still not been playing great football.
Hey, D Menace got a public service announcement. He said, "Don't forget that hit that like button, please. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button. That algorithm is very real, so we really appreciate it if you guys go ahead and just tap that like button for us real quick, and also subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to subscribe to my channel and obviously Raider Ray's channel. We do a weekly live show, and we switch off every week. So you want to make sure you're subscribed to both channels so you can catch us both. To talk about the Raiders, a team that we love to talk about, a team that we're a fan of. So you want to make sure you are subscribed to both channels. Also, what else am I missing here? Let me.
Oh, Thomas says a replacement for Waller. Talking about Foster. No, Foster is not a replacement for Darren Waller. Not even close.
What about Foster?
Yeah, in the comment right below.
Oh, no. Where did he say that? Replacement for Waller? No. Come on, someone. No, we can't do that. I would understand, okay, if you're trying to maybe trade Waller and get a high draft pick, and then maybe you replace Waller with a young upcoming tight end in the draft or someone. But Moreau he's not in my opinion, he's not a starting tight end. If Moreau starts, that means everybody around him is spectacular.
Exactly.
That, like Devontae Adams obviously is going to be great, and then our number 2 receiver got to be on point.
And it's also because you didn't draft very well at the tight end position, and you didn't throw any type of money at that position as well. And I don't mean that as a slight to Foster. It's just he's not that guy.
Right. So going back to the playoff picture here. What do you? Okay, so let's see. Hold on, let me move my mouse real quick. All right. Okay. So Las Vegas right now, they're 11th seed. If they win this week, they'll go 7-8, and they obviously will go up here. I think, like I said, New England is going to lose this game. I think the Jets are probably going to lose against Jacksonville. I think they're just going to keep losing. And then Tennessee had to just.
Are we rooting for the Jets though? Ultimately,
You said, are we rooting for the Jets?
this week against Jacksonville, and then just bank on the Jets losing out.
Because all right, Jacksonville does have the tiebreaker.
Yeah,
You know what I
'cause
mean?
you want
So,
them to lose. You want to go a game up above them, so you almost want to root for the Jets this week, in my opinion, and then hope that the Jets lose out,
It's true. It's true. And then
or let's just have a tie.
I'm wondering what's Miami's schedule. I think I looked at Miami because Miami's the team that I'm like paying attention to. I'm like,
Yeah,
they
I'm
look
telling
like
you,
they're like, okay,
Baltimore,
it's
Miami.
Miami. All right, let's see. Miami.
Honestly, though, those three teams at 5, 6, and 7, you don't necessarily know what team you're going to get out of any of them. You know, sometimes they show up and they can beat majority of the teams in the league. But honestly, that 5, 6, and 7, honestly right now, I like Miami, but I think the Chargers have the most talent.
So Miami's last 3 games are the Packers,
That's a tough game.
the Patriots, and the Jets. Very interesting, huh?
2 division games, and they always play each other tough.
Yeah. So I hope the Patriots.
That's kind of tough, though. You don't want any of those teams to win.
Yeah, I know. By the way, the Raiders have a 6% chance of making the playoffs.
Yeah, but that's what we had last year.
But then if they win all 3 of their games, they have a 60% chance of going to the playoffs. So, you know, the odds will be in their favor, kind of. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but I still think like if the Raiders still win out, like there's still a huge possibility we still don't make the playoffs.
oh yeah. But I think that's true.
I mean, honestly.
But I actually see the Packers beating. Let's see, Packers can.
That means you're banking on Baltimore to lose out because we played Baltimore, right? Did we play Baltimore?
No, we don't play Baltimore.
Okay, we didn't play Baltimore.
You want to look at Baltimore's schedule?
Yeah, let's look at Baltimore's because obviously what happens with the Chargers breakdown. So like if say the Chargers lost, they won one more game, the Raiders win out, and they win one more game, and we have a tied record. Because we have a split game, does it go down to the conference of what their conference record is?
Yeah, I think conference record does play a point. And if you look at the conference record, you could see that we're like 5-5. It's pretty close.
And if we beat the Chiefs and we beat the Steelers, that would put us at 7-5.
Mm-hmm.
So we would almost edge out the Chargers.
Yeah,
you need the Chargers to lose out, honestly.
So all right. So Baltimore, they play the Falcons on Saturday, and they play the Steelers.
They probably beat the Falcons. That's
okay. This is the Ravens' last 3 games: the Falcons, the Steelers, and the Bengals. All right. So let's look at Jacksonville's.
Sean says he sent you a complete breakdown. He said I made it easy for you.
You made it okay. You did. All right. Can I show this though? How can I show this? Okay, well, I guess I'll read it out then. Oh, I appreciate it, Sean. Sean Schefter. Appreciate it, man.
Coming in clutch.
Okay, so Chargers' last 3 games are Colts, Rams, Broncos. God. Ugh.
Who?
Hey, I hope the Colts, Rams, and Broncos.
Yeah, dude. They got a cakewalk.
Hey, I hope somehow, some way, the Chargers always figure out a way to choke.
I know.
Just please.
I hope Baker Mayfield snaps.
I hope Baker Mayfield has one of the best games he's ever had in his career.
Aaron
Hall of
Donald.
Fame game.
Oh,
And then Russell Wilson comes back at the end of the season and just he's the
finishes
classic.
out. Let the Broncos win out.
4 touchdown
well, not
game,
went out, but-
you know, classic Russell Wilson. Okay. All right. So like I said, the Chargers' last 3 games are Colts, Rams, and Broncos. Miami Dolphins' last 3 games are Packers, Patriots, and Jets. The Patriots' last 3 games are Bengals, Dolphins, and Bills. Oof.
Mm.
The Jets are
I'm rooting for
Jaguars,
the Colts
Seahawks, and
this
Dolphins. You said what?
weekend. I'm rooting for the Colts this weekend against the Chargers.
Yeah, I know.
They gotta lose 2 of their final 3 games.
If they had any type of respect, you know, after losing a 33-point game, you know, I'm sure the players are pissed off. The coaching staff is mad. They might
really. We got to circle. We got to watch the Dolphins and the Chargers. I think that's going to be our way in. Is us win out and the Chargers and the Dolphins are circled.
Yeah. I
They
mean,
need to collapse.
they have the last two. They have the playoff spots. But the Jets' last 3 games are Jaguars, Seahawks, and Dolphins.
Hey, I could see them losing all of them.
Oh my God, the Jaguars' last 3 games are Jets, Texans, and Titans.
Oh.
And finally, last but not least, the Raiders' last 3 games are Steelers, 49ers, and Chiefs. Oh my God.
Can I be honest? I don't look. I believe in my team, and I think if we did it last year, we can do it again.
Right.
But in the same breath, being realistic, hey, if we win these 3 games, that's a victory in itself. Like if the Raiders can finish this on a 4-game win streak, regardless of playoffs, I'd be extremely proud of the team just finishing the way they did. But I don't know. I don't know.
You would go into the offseason. I know there's no such thing as moral victories, but at least you go into the offseason. Okay, you can build off what just happened here. The season was a disappointment. It was a loss. It was a whatever. But now you can go into the offseason and try to plug up the holes, whatever position, get those guys in the locker room that were reported to having issues in the locker room with the coaching staff and whatever the case may be. Get them out of there. Bring the guys that you need to get in. And let's see what the second year in McDaniel's offense looked like. The second year in Patrick Graham's defense looked like. So,
and you know, like I honestly think if the Raiders get past these, I think if they get past the Steelers and the Niners, like that Niners game is going to be tough. That's going to be a really, really hard game. These next 2 games are really, really tough. But to be honest, like the next 2, I think are the most difficult. And I think the Raiders right now, especially Kansas City, if they win their next 2, who does Kansas City play? Seattle and who?
Daniel Kim says Tannehill can barely walk. Damn. And their backup QB is trash.
I don't even know who he is.
It's that.
Oh yes, I do.
Guy he got him in the second round, I think. Yeah, he's still a project.
Yeah. But I'm saying that Kansas City game, you might have to watch it because if they win the next 2, they might sit some starters week 18.
And what? Okay, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. Now I'm gonna look at the Niner game because it's the second to last game. You think the Niners are gonna care if they clinch the division and clinch the playoffs, clinch the seed? Let's see where they're at. NFC, you know what? NFC playoff picture. NFC.
I think they've clinched.
NFC playoff picture. So they're 10-4. Yeah, they're pretty much. Let me see. NFL playoff standings. NFL playoff picture.
Man, if we went out, who do we get? If we're 7th seed, who do we play? Buffalo?
All right, so maybe is this better? This might be a better one.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, so right now this is the playoff picture. Okay, so they clinched the number 1 spots, 2 seeds, Bills, Chiefs, and then right now Eagles, Vikings. Vikings are 11-3. Sheesh. Yeah, 49ers are going to be fighting to the very end. Damn.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah,
49ers are a good team.
Because look where they're at. They're number 3 seed. Look at where So if Vikings lose, they can move up. They can get playoff A. Home field advantage is huge in the playoffs.
I don't know if they get past the Eagles.
Oh my God! How did the Cowboys lose against the Jaguars? Y'all, they're disgusting.
They're
Ugh.
inconsistent. I don't know how big I am on the NFC this year.
All right, look, Cowboys. Damn, 10-4. They're gonna be playing to the very
Hey,
end.
of that list, I'm gonna say the Niners and the Eagles are the toughest. I don't think the Vikings are all that great.
Yeah, no. I know that. What I'm saying is that I'm just looking at their record and seeing that, like, look, the 49ers they're gonna bring their A game against the Raiders. Because look, they're still fighting for, home field. That's why I'm kind of like, and the Cowboys, they could have just beat. How could you not just beat the Jaguars? Come on, bro. Yeah,
I know. You had one job.
Just.
And Zay Jones snapped in that game.
Hey, the quarterback for the Jaguars,
He's looking good. Trevor Lawrence he's proven me wrong.
And exactly a difference in coaching. Look at what coaching does.
100%.
They had a disaster at coaching last year. Urban Meyer was,
Cheetah says if Falcons can destroy a fully healthy Niners team with Debo, we can. I love it.
Let me get back to.
Here's the thing: is we can beat all the teams that are on our schedule. It's just what Raiders team are we getting? That's the problem. I feel like we beat ourselves more than opponents beat us. I like your videos, no Manscaped commercials, pure content. With that being said, let's segue. This video is brought to you by Manscaped. I'm just kidding. No free ads. No free shout outs.
No, I'm just playing.
Have you tried the lawnmower 2.0 yet? Your balls are
all
pinky.
good, bro, man. We're just trying to have a good conversation, man, with Raider Nation, man. That's all. And this is just Moreau is a great backup tight, No, Moreau, I'm not. Hey, I don't want to, shit on Moreau. You know what I mean? Like he's not a bad player. He's a solid player.
He's not a Waller replacement though.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Waller's been out for how long? And what has Moreau really done? It's not anything to really celebrate over. But my biggest question though, who do we want to root for Thursday? I think you answered this earlier. With basically Jacksonville and Jets play on Thursday. Who are we rooting for?
I mean, I guess you're wanting the Jets to win, right?
Jets are at 7-7.
Yeah. But the only problem is that Jacksonville has the game on us. So I ultimately want their record to be as worse as possible.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess
I'm guessing like the Jets win and then they lose every game in the rest of the games of the year.
Yeah, I guess the Jets.
But at the same breath, the Jets have to play the Dolphins and you need the Dolphins to lose. You see what I mean? Like the Raiders are going to be in a tough situation. I don't know if I see them now that we're breaking it down. I don't know. It's going to be hard.
All right, but let's get back to it right now. So look, all right, so we're on the AFC now. We're in the hunt. Bengals number 3 seed, Titans number 4 seed. They're 7-7. They can easily be a wild card team right now because Jaguars is literally right behind them. Ravens, they're not looking good without their quarterback right now. But it's hard for me to believe that they're gonna like lose out. Because they're coached they have a solid coach. You know what I'm saying? He's going to figure out a way to get a game in there, and then the rest is just going to be history. But let's see here. On a bubble. Oh man, that's tough. That's tough. Let me look at the schedule right here real quick. So Dolphins and Jaguars, Jets, Texans, Titans. So all right, so basically we're rooting for the Jets this week. Take out the Jaguars. and then the Jets lose against the Jets. You know, they're going to be fighting for their rights against the Seahawks and the Dolphins last couple games.
Well, what's the Jets' conference record?
Let me actually go back to that. Jets' current conference record is 5-5. And guess what the Raiders' conference record is? 5-5. Look, if you look at from 8th to 11th seed, this is the record starting from the Raiders: 5-5, 5-4, 5-5, 5-4. Even Miami 6-4, 6-4. From Baltimore 6-4. So that's how close it is. If any of these teams lose one game or a couple games here, they're done for. That's why I'm like, hey, the Raiders, if they could just win out, they put themselves in a really good.
Yeah, I mean, Raider Gabe's telling us, he says we need to win out. Either Dolphins or Chargers need to lose 2 games.
Right.
And I know, I get that. It's just it's just weird wiggle room, because what if the Jets win out? That's the problem, you know? Because the Dolphins end up playing the Jets, and if the Jets are sitting at 7-7 and the Jets beat the Dolphins, like, yeah, you need those 2 teams to lose, but you also need like the Patriots, the Jets, and the Jags. They can't go off and win a bunch of games either.
Johnny Storm beats check website out, bro. What you mean?
I'm sure they've got a.
Is there something better?
Let me see.
I can pull it up for you. Something out? Okay.
They're using the playoff machine.
And I just McDubb, Patron, man. Ravens done. Hey, man, I'm telling you, if they can lose 3 games, but it's hard for me to believe a John Harbaugh team is going to lose 3 straight games at the end of the season. I hope they do. It's how the Raiders can make the playoffs.
He's talking about the ESPN playoff machine. Yeah, ultimately, look, we need the Dolphins and the Chargers to lose 2 games. That's what. Ideally, if
you want to pull that up real quick,
if those things can happen, what, the ESPN machine?
ESPN playoff machine. Do y'all want to do that? ESPN.
Yeah, we can do that for them.
Let's go ahead and do that, man. All right, ESPN.com. Let's see. And I guess it's going to be on the NFL page. Okay, so let's see. Okay, NFL playoff machine. All right, I'm gonna share this. Can y'all see it?
Let me see. Hold on. Yep.
Okay. So currently, let's see.
And then you got your matchups on top, and you pick which one of those you think are going to win or lose. So you'll go to week 16 at the top of the tab. Okay. So let's do it if the Jets beat the Jags. Let's do that matchup. Jets beat the Jags. Okay, and then the Raiders beat the Steelers. Green Bay beats Miami.
Let me see. Oh, this is nice.
To the right of the Raiders.
You got the Raiders? All
right. Colts beat the Chargers.
Hey, man, if the Colts beat the Chargers, Gus Bradley, you deserve a raise.
Far bottom right. Let's do Texans beating the Titans.
Damn.
I'm going to get old Lovie Smith in here.
Upset City.
Upset. I think that's Falcons beat the Ravens. Okay, now go to go to next week.
Oh man, that was funny. Should we have everybody lose except for the Raiders?
Yep. Go to week 17.
Week 17. All right, for sure.
All right, now Dallas over Tennessee.
The Raiders got to win, right?
Yep.
And then you said Dallas over Tennessee.
Yep.
Okay.
Ravens over Pittsburgh.
Are you sure? Ravens over Pittsburgh?
I'm just looking at.
Or Pittsburgh over Ravens.
Well,
Because
I think Pittsburgh can beat the Ravens, but I'm just like,
just because. All right, let's say Pittsburgh wins it.
yeah, let's say Pittsburgh wins.
Okay.
Let's say, okay, we need Jacksonville to beat the Texans, but I don't see that happening. Jacksonville's going to win.
Jacksonville. Let's see. Jacksonville. Hold on. Oh, man, Texans is terrible, bro. What are they doing over there? All right, so
They're tanking. They want a quarterback. What do you mean? Lovie Smith knows what he's doing.
oh man, come on, man. Just they look like you know what they're playing hard against KC. Damn. You want to be realistic and just say Jaguars?
Yeah, Jags. Let's just be realistic from here on out because I kind of cast it up week 16.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's pick. Okay, Miami and Patriots. Let's just say the Patriots beat Miami.
I think that's a possibility.
They're at the second from the top right.
Second from the top right. Oh.
Man.
Damn, yes, man. They're haters. they don't believe. Hater
Chargers
fans,
over
we're
the
the only
Rams.
ones that believe. Just to let y'all know, we believe in this team.
Chargers over the Rams. That sucks. Seattle over the Jets. Man. All right. Yeah, it goes. Obviously, we need Raiders to win the 3, but okay, go to week 18. All right, it comes down to this. Raiders beat the Chiefs. Okay. Well, then we're gonna need, let's say, Tennessee beats Jacksonville. No, Jacksonville's gonna beat Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Second from the top right. Do Miami over the Jets. Man. Let's do Broncos over the Chargers, but I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see.
Yeah, Broncos. The Donkeys.
They're below the Lions and Packers. Oh, there we are.
Hey, the Broncos. Hey, if there's gonna be a week that we root for the Donkeys, it's gonna be against the Chargers.
Hey,
but then we said that who else is gonna be the Colts? Yeah, oh man, Brandon Staley will get fired instantly. If the Chargers don't make the playoffs, they get fired.
Oh yeah.
He gets fired. He gets fired. And that, you know what my concern is? If he gets fired,
Sean Payton. Sean Payton. Oh, can you imagine our division?
Oh my God, Sean Payton with Herbert.
Because Denver Broncos is going to be a place for a head coach too.
Yeah, but Herbert and Sean Payton.
Just put the Chargers winning and Bills beat Patriots. Watch what happens.
I hope the Chargers make the playoffs and then Sean Payton goes somewhere else.
Bills beat.
And then they're.
Oh yeah, Chargers win. Okay, put Chargers winning. He said, just put the Chargers winning and the Bills beating the Patriots. So flip the Broncos Chargers game.
All right.
And then pick the Bills beating the Patriots. It's the second game.
The Bills.
Top left.
The Bills.
Oh. Hey. This can happen.
And let's start over because we were hella unrealistic to begin with. Though we had hella.
Yeah, you're right.
We had hella random games. We had hella random games. All right.
Sorry, chat, but we got to do it.
Oh, let's clear it.
This will be a lot faster this time. This will be a lot faster.
All right, I appreciate y'all. All right. We just found something that's pretty beautiful right now. All right. All right, week 15. This is my first time using this NFL playoff machine.
Okay, this already happened, so go to week 16.
So this already happened. Week 16.
Yep. Realistically, let's just do AFC. Jags over the Jets.
Yeah, I see that happening.
First.
So let's just realistically see how this plays out. All right.
Realistically, very first game.
Boom.
We've got I got Falcons over the Ravens. I think that they just pull up an upset.
Okay.
Um,
The Raiders winning.
Raiders win. Let's say Cincinnati, the last game on the top row. Cincinnati beats the Patriots.
Okay. And Green Bay, Miami.
Let's go Green Bay.
Okay. Aaron Rodgers has a classic
Aaron
game.
Rodgers has a good game. Colts, Chargers. I feel like that's a trap game. I don't know why, but let's go Chargers. I mean, let's go Chargers.
And they're at Indianapolis.
I'm telling you, I feel like it's a trap game.
Hey,
Chat.
hey,
Let us know. Let us know. Colts, Chargers. Who do you got winning that game? Because I feel like personally that could be a trap game. So, chat. Who do you got winning? Imagine no Colts move just
crazy right now. All right, let me get to the.
Okay, wait. Titans, Texans, Titans. Pick the Titans. First game on the bottom left row.
Colts on the West. Colts sweep AFC West.
Colts
okay.
sweep. Okay, let's go with that take. I like that. that.
Okay. Jeff
like
Saturday in the building. He over here just. All right. Boom. All right. Okay, so that's Colts.
That's a trap game. I like that.
And then is there another game that we should? That's all the games, right?
Titans and Texans. I don't know if it necessarily matters.
Well, hey, Titans are 7-7.
Yeah, just pick the Titans.
Okay.
Week 17. Let's do it.
All right. Week 17.
Obviously, Raiders. That'll be the first one.
Oh my God, I ain't gonna lie. That Raider Niner game is gonna be.
That's crazy. Especially if the Raiders beat the Steelers, that Niner game is gonna be crazy.
I'm gonna talk so much shit. Oh my God, I don't want to say nothing. I'm not trying to jinx nothing.
Okay, go to Dallas beats the Titans, very first game.
All right. So Dallas.
I see the Steelers beating the Ravens.
Okay.
Jaguars,
Texans.
Jaguars. Yep. Let's go Miami over Patriots.
Okay.
The Colts don't really matter.
No. Chargers, Rams. Chargers.
And
Okay.
then, I mean,
Jets, Seattle. At Seattle too.
Seattle. All right, go next.
Ooh, Geno's revenge. I'm picking Geno.
Yeah, I'm picking Geno.
All
right, week 18. Let's do it again.
Week 18. All right. So, hey, the first time we was playing around. The second, this one right here, we're taking it real serious. We picked some upsets, but there's some realistic upsets.
Patriots, Bills.
So Raiders,
Let's go Bills.
And then you said Patriots. You said Bills. Okay.
Let's go Jags over Titans.
Jags.
Let's go
Jets or Dolphins.
I mean, I gotta go Miami.
Okay. And Chargers, Broncos.
Let's go Chargers. We don't make the playoffs.
Oh, Bengals, Ravens.
Bengals.
Okay.
Oh! Hey, a rematch? Cincinnati, Vegas?
Oh, baby.
Oh,
hey, we were being serious too. This is
Hey,
oh man, the Raiders. Hey, they just need to win out. They just need to win out. They just need to win out. Oh my God. Oh
Abe
my
says
God.
we really need Tennessee to win that game. Hey, let's hope. Hey, that's a division game that could happen. It could be a toss up.
You talking about?
Yeah. See if the Titans win. Just click it.
Well, to be honest with you, Tennessee and the Jaguars own tiebreakers over the Raiders. So I don't know if that matters. But let's say right now, look, right now I had it as the Jaguars winning. Let's say if Tennessee wins it. Doesn't make a difference. It just switches whoever makes the playoffs for them.
Hey, and honestly, who would you rather see the Chargers play? Could you imagine 3 teams in the AFC West making it? We talked about that this offseason.
Hey, if the Raiders win 3 straight, they could. This would be a crazy season. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, if the Raiders make the playoffs after the type of season they had, oh my God, man. Hey, they have a chance.
Oh yeah. Hey, he said we missed the KC game in week 17. Not that the.
Okay. We missed the KC
We missed the
game.
KC
Who was
games.
KC playing? KC and Broncos? I
Broncos,
mean,
KC.
it doesn't matter. They already clinched the playoffs.
Yeah.
And the Broncos.
I think it just matters by seeding.
We'll just, you know what? Let's do this. Broncos.
They say it matters by seeding because if the
Okay.
Chiefs win out, we probably play the Chiefs. What about week 16? Did we pick the Chiefs? I don't think we did.
Let's say the Chiefs. Chiefs.
Hey, could Seattle upset them?
Damn.
Okay, just say Seattle upsets them, just real quick, because it'll flip it. Okay, so Bengals or Chiefs? That's the match.
My God! If this would be a great, like a rematch, I'll look forward to this game. I'm not gonna lie. The Bengals and Raiders.
Oh yeah.
Hypothetically speaking, the Raiders have to win their last 3 games. But if it plays out like this, y'all heard it here first.
Go to a week
Get it here
17 too.
You said week.
Go to week 17 and go to the Bengals-Bills game. I got the Bills over the Bengals. It doesn't change anything. Okay.
Is there another game here?
Hey, Bengals KC, man. That's
Hey, it looks like if the Raiders just got to win out.
Yeah.
They really have a good chance. If they win out, they put them in a really good spot for them to make the playoffs. Because the Jets, they're having issues. They're having issues with their quarterback. It's just and then Jaguars obviously are getting hot.
Eden makes a good point, man. Like if the KC wins out their next 2 games, they might rest their starters in that last game.
It's possible. And who made that?
Cheetah
Cheetah over here is the last comment.
I'm guessing the Bills are going to have to lose a few games for KC to get the first seed. And then obviously KC wins out. I don't know if I see KC going 12-5. I don't know.
Rated
If
game.
they lose again, I think it's to the Raiders and they sit their starters.
They might sit Mahomes. Possibly. It's possible. Last game of the season, you never know. Especially if everything's already been established.
But it's Raiders week.
You guys make a good point. So you guys can really say that, or we can actually say that this game against the Steelers and obviously the Niner game will be the 2 toughest games.
Hey, it's us though. Like all these games that we just picked are all hypotheticals. If the Raiders don't handle their business.
Hey, no. You know what? One last time, because this is crazy. If we actually hold on, should I clear it? All right, clear it. So Jags beat the Jets, Raiders beat the Steelers, Bengals win, Chargers win that.
KC wins versus Seattle.
I think Tennessee wins this. Oh, you know what? I think the quarterback
Davis Mills versus Malik Willis.
You said KC?
KC, yeah.
KC wins that.
Yeah.
Because it's at KC. It's just gonna be a tough game. Green Bay Dolphins.
Green Bay.
What happens if we say Dolphins win? Because we've been picking the Green Bay over the Dolphins like it's the automatic. That's what happens if we do that. And then Falcons. You still want to pick Falcons over Ravens?
Yeah.
At Baltimore?
We'll just pick Baltimore just in case.
Baltimore.
Do you really got the Chargers beating the Colts? I like that take of AFC.
Yeah, no. I get you. I just want to see what happens.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's play it out a different way. So 17. All right, 17. Let's see. All right, Dallas. I'm thinking Cowboys. Ravens at Baltimore. Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Let's go Steelers. Raiders. Seattle.
Jags.
KC. Damn.
Let's pick Cincinnati.
Game.
Yeah, do Cincinnati. They might sneak into there.
Okay.
Do Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I think Bill Belichick is gonna have some up their sleeve. And let's see. Did we pick the Patriots game on week 16?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. I think
Week
that's
17. Okay, now go week 18.
all right. So the Raiders winning that. Okay. Jets and Dolphins.
Dolphins.
They get a first round bye.
Steelers over Cleveland. I don't know. That's gonna be a close game.
Jaguars at Titans.
Jags. Do
Broncos. This doesn't matter, but let's see. Hold up. Damn.
do it if the Broncos beat them. Don't change nothing.
Don't change nothing.
Hey,
So it looks like this is so the reason why I wanted to do it this way, y'all, is just to make it realistic.
flip the Jets. Flip the Jets and the Dolphins.
Oh,
See, we need Miami to lose too.
so there has to be
Either Miami or LA needs to lose too.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
Mm-hmm. And the Jaguars. Okay.
Even though it's realistic that Miami doesn't lose to the Jets.
Hey, look, and if you look at all the games that I picked, I said the Jaguars are gonna win. I wasn't playing around. Look, the Chiefs are gonna win. I said the Bengals gonna win. I said, look, I didn't.
And
pick
we're giving Miami that game too.
The only upset that I didn't pick. You know what? What happens if I change this to? Oh no. And I didn't pick no upsets. Except obviously I'm being.
You gave
biased.
Miami over Green Bay. I think Green Bay might surprise Miami, but
At Miami, at home.
yeah. I think right now how Green Bay was playing, coming off the game they just came off, I think they have a chance to beat Miami. Hey, Miami might hit a rough patch here for a second. So
You said.
Cheetah says this one's the most realistic for sure.
You
Hey,
said
it's
it's the most
possible.
realistic?
Just win, baby.
Hey man, that's the only thing that matters right now for the Raiders. They have to win. They have to win. I didn't pick no upsets. Week 17. Like obviously I'm being a Raider fan right now and I'm saying that the Raiders win out, but of course. But all right, Seahawks.
The biggest upset is our own team in this whole situation.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like the Steelers game is tough, and the Niner game is the
They're all
toughest.
tough. They're
I
all
think
tough.
the Niner game is the toughest, but obviously the Chiefs, we're just hoping that they rest. Mahomes is on the bench. We see who's the backup for Mahomes.
Crickets.
Anybody know the backup? Top of the head. Come on, type. All right, I'm about to look it up. All right,
Chad Henne.
Mahomes backup. I'm just gonna put Kansas City.
My man Chad Henne.
Kansas City Chiefs. Let's see who comes with it first. Nah, for real. Hey, Daniel Kim, we gotta handle business. Facts, 100%. Let's see.
Is it Chad Henne?
Chiefs player roster. Got depth chart.
What's going on, Richard Lyon? Thank you for pulling up, my friend.
Richard Lyon in the building. Hey, I gotta make you a mod. I told you I was gonna make you a mod, and I'm gonna make you a mod. Let's see here. Oh, 1 second. You see Richard in here? Yeah.
Hold up. Jeez. It's taking us too long to find out the.
Oh yeah. I just went off.
No, I got you.
You got it? All right. Let me go into. Hey, is Richard in here?
Yeah, Richard Lyon. Yeah, he pulled up.
Hey, Richard. All right. Let me make you.
Hey, Chad Henne for the backup quarterback. I was right.
All right. Cool. Chad Henne.
Hey, I'll take Chad Henne over Patrick Mahomes.
And they rest hopefully they rest their defense. Oh man. see.
Fact of the matter is, Raider Nation, man, we got to handle business. That's what this comes down to, and it starts tomorrow, or it starts Saturday against the Pittsburgh Steelers in a tough game where the Raiders got to be physical. They got to win up front. Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, you've got to get the ball. Darren Waller to your playmakers. And you know what? We have to take advantage of recent history in this rivalry. You know, we have to go in Pittsburgh in cold weather and handle our business. Go 1-0 this week before we start doing all the fun games of looking ahead. And as we go on, if we beat the Steelers, we'll continue the playoff picture. We'll continue the playoff scenario and get you guys involved in it. But look, the Raiders have to go out here and handle business.
Yeah, 100%, man. That's literally where it's going to start. The numbers is I see the Ravens losing a lot. Yeah, because Lamar Jackson is out, but I don't want to count on it because they do have a good to me, I think John Harbaugh he's not a bad coach. He's going to have the team prepared in some level, some way or form.
Hey, they did lose significant games at the end of the year last year, and that was the same narrative that Harbaugh was going to, have them ready to go. So they didn't.
Okay.
Hopefully.
All right. I hope so. Hey, if they lose out, that's just another reason for the Raiders to make the playoffs. And then Richard Lyon right here says we handle business. Facts, 100%. But yeah, man. Any closing thoughts, man?
No, Raider Nation. Hey, let's just support our team. We 3 and we're in essentially. That's how I'm going to view it because it's realistic. So, Raider Nation, support this team, and let's go find a way to beat the Steelers.
Facts, 100%. And hey, we wanted to make an announcement. We made this announcement on Saturday. We have a call-in number. See the number that you see on the screen, 628-333-9343. That's our call-in number. So anytime you guys are ready to call in, instead of being in chat, you want to voice your opinions, your thoughts, you can call this number, and then we'll be able to have you on live, hear your thoughts, man. Because hey, man, we want to hear from y'all. At the end of the day, we want to start that conversation with y'all. So this is the call-in number. We won't have a lot of time today, but on the next live, which will be on Raider Ray's channel, we'll have this available. How you feeling about? You want to do Thursday or you want to do Saturday? How you feel? Saturday, Thursday. It's up to you.
I mean,
we could do Saturday.
we could do. Yeah, we
after
could do
the game.
Saturday. Yeah, we can do Saturday after the game.
Saturday afternoon. Okay, so you heard it here first. Just be on the lookout. I post on my community tab on social. We'll let you know, but it will be Saturday after the game. We'll be able to go live, chop it up, and man, hopefully we'll be enjoying a Raiders win. And that's
Raider Nation, you're not going to want to miss it because if we go live on Saturday, that means it was a post-game reaction to a Raiders win, and that means that it's going to be crazy in the chat. You guys are going to want to pull up for a fantastic show. We'll have the call in so you guys can voice your opinion on a big-time Raiders win. Make sure you're subscribed to Raider Ray. Make sure you're subscribed to Pharaoh NFL. We do both live shows and alternate on each other's channels. So you want to make sure that you're subscribed to both channels so you get the alert. Make sure you hit the post notification bell to keep you updated when we go live as well.
Yes, facts. You got to make sure hit that notification bell because it does remind you when we go live. Because sometimes I hear comments and I see people like, oh, I didn't know I missed your live. I didn't get. Well, hit that notification bell. I mean, obviously subscribe and like the video, but the notification bell just gives you that extra assurance that anytime we do go live or we post anything, you'll be notified. You'll know. You'll be up to date. And yeah, man, we love talking football. We love talking about the Raiders, especially. And hopefully, the next time we talk about football, we'll talk about a Raiders win on Saturday, man. But that's it, man. Till next time. Peace.
Great Pharaoh, the gift of Troy is a fabulous fabric from the land of the 5 rivers.
Just win, baby.
Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.